Yeah, so bad news, flat earthers. It looks like a few different private aerospace companies are going to be offering the first ever space flights for private citizens, starting possibly as soon as next year, 2018. One such company is called SpaceX and is aiming in the short term to send two private citizens around the moon and back, and then, in the long term, to be the transportation port of choice for humanity to travel back and forth between Mars sometime in the 2030s. Very ambitious. The other company, Blue Origin, is setting their sights to be the first company to establish the inception of space tourism, striving to provide the citizens with basic flights into the shallows of outer space. Let's check out their wiki. Here we go. Oh man, they have a coat of arms logo. Let's take a look at this baby. There's a ton of things on here to read into, much deeper than warranted. A wet dream for the conspiracy theorists. Wow, two turtles. You know what that means. Seemingly reaching for the stars. Leaning on a plaque with orbital altitudes above a round Earth. An hourglass with feathered wings. This is getting scary. A rocket shooting into space, passing behind the turtle on the right. A giant moon. A sun surrounded by numerous rocks and planets of varying size. And of course, let's not forget the Latin, which is always the hallmark of devil worship, which translates to mean step by step ferociously. Oh, can't you just sense the amount of ominous meanings and all the nefarious secret messages hidden within this crest? Oh, it's stuffed to the brim with satanic cryptology. Somebody needs to break out the magnifying glass and dive headfirst into this one. I mean, just look at the amount of celestial bodies surrounding the star. Surely there's a lot of information to be extracted from this symbolic allegorical configuration. So, anyway, Charlie. So, the article states Blue Origin is an American privately funded aerospace manufacturer and spaceflight services company set up by Amazon.com founder Jeff Bezos, with its headquarters in Kent, Washington. The company is developing technologies to enable private human access to space with the goal to dramatically lower costs and increase reliability. Blue Origin is employing an incremental approach to suborbital to orbital flight, with each developmental step building on its prior work. The company motto is Gratatum Ferociter, Latin for step by step ferociously. Blue Origin is developing a variety of technologies with a focus on rocket-powered vertical takeoff and vertical landing vehicles for access to suborbital and orbital space. The company's name refers to the blue planet Earth as the point of origin. Nice, huh? Let's take a quick look at their main website. Sweet astronaut experience. Soar with Blue Origin. Okay, let's watch some of the promo video. Alright, so we got private citizens in here. And Mendham and Graytex are in there. Yeah, it's important for those two to be in there. I'm going to fast forward a little bit just for the important parts we take off. Bye, Mendham. Bye, Graytex. Alright, here we go. Wow. You're in space now. Zero gravity. This has got to be the ultimate part to want to experience. Alright, so now the used rocket crashed into the ocean? No. Check this out. Nice, huh? Ready for reuse. Tickets, please. Up in space, Earth is round. Time to put the seatbelt back on. Parachute safely back to Earth. Welcome back, Amendum. Welcome back, Raytex. There's some lipstick on your collar. Blue Origin. Ready to take your first step into great first step, Gary. Shut up, Great Jerks. Hell yeah. But how much? And how long before this gets implemented as a regular attraction at the Epcot Center in Disney World? Oh man, so this is some very bad news for flat earthers. As soon anyone who can afford it will be able to go up into space and take a bird's eye view of the planet for themselves. And hopefully finally put to rest this misconstrued externalization called flat earth theory. But I know, let me guess, it's just a sophisticated disinformation campaign, because the spaceship never actually leaves the planet, as this so-called spaceship is actually just a fake stationary animatronic model of a spaceship that simulates the movements associated with a real launch and flight. The windows actually being super high definition digital screens, playing videos portraying how a launch and flight would look through real windows, giving the passenger just an impression of space travel, also including some unknown way of simulating zero gravity, all to finally convince the populace of a round world instead of the truth of a flat one, right? Never mind that you can actually already prove a round world by continually traveling along the equator until you came all the way back around to where you started. No, never mind that. If the Earth is flat, then no matter which direction you move in, advancing in a straight line, which can be measured and proven to be such, and hence shown not to be just traveling around in a circle on a flat terrain, you should eventually hit a wall, and this certainly has not been shown to be the case. And never mind this. Never mind that there's several live video feeds of the Earth from various cameras in space 24/7. Of course, this is just Hollywood special effects. It isn't real. You know, occasionally you gotta employ Occam's razor. You know, when faced with a choice of possible truths, the more simple one that requires less assumptions is more than likely the truth. Flat Earth is chock full of assumptions. The main one being that humans are somehow so important that mind-boggling mass deceptions are put into place to fool them. Why? Who knows? But it's so crucially important that they must be deceived in order to meet the ominous agenda. You know, I wonder, is it just a coincidence that so many flat earthers, and many conspiracy buffs in general, also just so happen to be theists? Is this just a coincidence? Or is there perhaps a common penchant for semi-paranoid fantastical delusions of grandeur revealed here? Anyway, nice try. But try again. Whether any so-called Earth is flat or round is irrelevant, as both models are externalizations. There may indeed be an element of flatness at play somewhere, but once again, the focus is directed to the wrong place.